The Roseanne Barr debacle continues. Following her racist tweet, which was directed toward an Obama advisor, Valerie Jarrett, essentially saying that she was the child of the Muslim Brotherhood mixed with apes. She apologized, then she blamed the racist tweet on drug use. And then she started retweeting conspiracy theories and her supporters who think that this was nothing more than a liberal witch hunt. Now, her show, the Roseanne Reboot, has been canceled by ABC. People who support her are very upset about that, and they think that it was canceled specifically because Roseanne Barr has identified as a Trump supporter. But I have a little bit of a defense of Roseanne Barr, so I want to get to that. First, she said the following: "I'm not a racist. I never was, I never will be. One stupid joke in a lifetime of fighting for civil rights for all minorities against networks, studios, at the expense of my nervous system, family, wealth, will never be taken from me." So I want to be clear about something, and I think most people know this. Roseanne Barr didn't accidentally tweet one terrible thing. She has a history of tweeting terrible things. She retweets conspiracy theories about George Soros, of course. She goes after people, about their physical appearances all the time. But more importantly, she's said a lot of damaging, conspiratorial, racist, xenophobic things. And for some reason, none of it really caught fire, none of it really got a lot of attention until she attacked Valerie Jarrett. So let's just keep it real. It's not like she put one controversial thing out there and then now she's being persecuted for it. But with that said, she said, there were other things that she had tweeted that people are pushing back against, but I think there's a little kernel of truth. So let's move on. She said something about how when she tweeted about Valerie Jarrett, she was on Ambien. She was Ambien tweeting. And so the pharmaceutical company behind Ambien tried to defend itself, saying, hey, you know what? Taking Ambien doesn't give you the side effect of racism. But Ambien does have some side effects that I think that people are now minimizing just to continue, attacking Roseanne Barr. So I want to be clear about that. That's where I want to kind of defend her, because people have acted erratically after taking Ambien. There's a long list of examples that I'm going to share with you guys in just a minute, but I wanted to get your take on that, Cenk.
So there's a whole bunch of things here. So before I get to Ambien, let me do some strange defense of Roseanne Barr as well. So first of all, she does the rare trifecta of being racist against African Americans, being anti-Semitic in some of her tweets, the conspiracy against Soros, that he collaborated with the Nazis, and according to her tweet, turned in other Jews to get murdered. Oh, that's crazy, right? That's not the story at all, right? And has done dress up as Hitler, etc., but has also called Palestinians Nazis. So she has done the trifecta of bigotry that I didn't think was necessarily possible. But she's offended almost everyone in insane, over-the-top ways. But that is a problem. I mean, it's literally crazy. And you can't keep up with whether she's crazy left, crazy right, hates Israel, hates Palestine, and the list goes on. To be fair to her, though, so when she says she did do some great things for civil rights, there is some truth in that. So in the Roseanne show, there was a lesbian kiss, which I remember was very controversial at the time. And it could have cost her a show in the other direction back in the day. It really could have, right? And a lot of the right wing was livid with her over that, and they wanted to boycott Roseanne back then. Now they're trying to defend Roseanne. And there's a lot of biracial relationships in Roseanne, and a lot of the writers and the producers, et cetera, are actually liberals. But she's a big part of that show, and so she's a very complicated person with, I think, a lot of significant mental issues. And so Jimmy Kimmel took the same stance I took yesterday, which is she really needs to get some help. So this is not the time to make fun of her as much as to find her help. Her longtime producing partner, Tom Werner, saying the same thing, she needs to get help. And look, this is coming from a guy, she's viciously attacked me personally in the past. But I get it, she's lost her mind. And so now speaking of which, we turn to Ambien. And again, I'm with you, Anna. The Ambien's response is cheeky and they're getting a lot of credit for it. Ambien might have a lot of side effects, but being racist isn't one of them. Zinger, right? Yeah, but it really does have a lot of side effects.
It does have side effects, and I really don't want people to minimize that because they're angry with Roseanne for a legitimate reason, right? Her tweets have been incredibly, hateful and offensive. I get that. But that doesn't take away from the severity of some of the side effects that people have faced, and people have experienced erratic behavior as a result of taking Ambien. So let me get into the details of that. Ambien users have reported a variety of side effects, including sleepwalking, binge eating, and even driving at night without realizing or remembering the incidents, which is terrifying. So it is plausible that someone would take Ambien and say all sorts of crazy, erratic things online. Again, we have no proof or evidence that that's what happened, but it doesn't matter. I just don't want people to minimize how severe the side effects can really be. Years ago, Senator Robert F. Kennedy's daughter, Carrie Kennedy, blamed Ambien for a drugged driving incident. Ambien was also one of the drugs found in Tiger Woods' system after police found him asleep in his car in the middle of a highway. Some of the changes may be characterized by decreased inhibition, similar to effects produced by alcohol. That's based on what the FDA has reported. Also, there's visual and auditory hallucinations. They've been reported as well. Behavioral changes such as bizarre behavior, agitation, and depersonalization. So again, it is very feasible that someone would take a pharmaceutical drug like Ambien and act erratically or not be themselves or do things that they don't even remember. Again, I don't know if that's really the case with Roseanne Barr, but I do think that, look, sometimes I want to kind of take a step back from my own thinking, my own rhetoric on the show, and even if someone is saying heinous, terrible things, and even if those things offend me and they anger me, you're right, Cenk, you should really consider the mental health of the person saying those things and doing those things, and she should be called out. And she should be, there should be consequences, but I don't think it makes sense to continuously attack her and try to destroy her if she does have mental problems or mental issues that should be taken care of.
Look, I actually think that somebody should go, make sure she's okay. I'm being serious. She doesn't sound well. Now, she's back on Twitter and she's fluctuating between I'm sorry to maybe we should attack the people attacking me, and she's going back and forth, back and forth. Some of the things that she's doing does seem like some of the side effects of Ambien, the reduced inhibition, the acting out in ways that are unpredictable, and the list goes on. And I don't want to blame Ambien either because Roseanne's been doing this for a long time. So has she been on Ambien the whole time? Was she on Ambien when she made racist comments about Susan Rice? Was she on Ambien when she called people Nazis over and over and over? Jesus, how much does she take it, right? She's said in one of the tweets that, hey, sometimes on Ambien, I'll crack an egg on a wall at 2 a.m. Then maybe you shouldn't keep taking it, right? Or maybe it isn't that. You've got other mental health issues. As I explained on the show yesterday, she got into a terrible car accident when she was 16 and had to be hospitalized mentally for 8 months. So it might be that coming back. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I do know she's not well. And then some of her defenses are terrible. She says, oh, Valerie Plame, I thought she was Jewish and Persian, so it was okay to call her an ape. No, I thought she was, a different ethnicity, and I like to call them apes, is not a great answer. By the way, Roseanne's Jewish.
Not Valerie Plame, Valerie Jarrett, right?
I'm sorry, Valerie Jarrett. Sorry about that.
Wait,
yes.
she said that about Valerie Plame.
But you never know. Yeah. You never know. That could be next.
Yeah.
Anyway, and look, they're not wrong. Some folks are not wrong in the right wing, et cetera, to say, oh, Valerie Jarrett got a call from Bob Uygur. They're friends. So all the other attacks, whatever, Palestinians. What are you gonna fire someone over calling Palestinians Nazis? No, you can say anything you want about Palestinians, right? Valerie Jarrett, she's powerful. And Bob Uygur knows her, you're gone. Yeah, there's some validity to that. Maybe she should have been gone a long time ago. So that doesn't really answer the question as to whether she should have kept the show. But to me, as I said yesterday, this is less about Roseanne, more about the country. I think it's symbolic that there is a significant percent of the country now defending a person who there's some chance they should legitimately be in a mental hospital?
Well, at least get treatment, an evaluation and treatment, because it does appear that there are some, underlying issues that are going untreated. But one other thing that I do want to mention, because it's important and it's getting retweeted like crazy, and it's terrifying to know that this kind of stuff gets the kind of attention it does. So through her Twitter storm, after her show got canceled, Roseanne retweeted a number of fake tweets, Photoshop tweets, and conspiracy theories. One of them really caught my attention. It was a doctored tweet by Joy Behar that alleged that she had tweeted that there was a fire at Trump Tower and that she hoped that Trump was the person who died in that fire. When I saw that tweet, first of all, it disgusted me, and I was like, did Joy Behar really tweet this? And of course I looked into it, and it was debunked. It was a completely fabricated tweet. And people believe it. I looked at the comments on that tweet and people completely believe it. Please don't believe everything you see on Twitter. Please fact check it for yourself, because, look, ruining someone's reputation is one thing, but think about how many mentally unstable people there are who actually carry out acts of violence when they see stuff like that.
And she also retweeted a picture of Whoopi Goldberg wearing a t-shirt where Donald Trump is blowing his brains out, also photoshopped. And so, look, we're torn here, and this is such a liberal conundrum that on the one hand, the things she's doing are terrible, and the alt-right loves them, and so that's why they like her. They're like, oh, you're purposely spreading lies. Yes, that's not the bug, that's the feature. But on the other hand, somebody's got to help her. On the other hand, all those sick people in the alt-right who do this and they know they're doing it, they also need mental health. They've got mental health issues. But I'm not gonna have sympathy for alt-right guys who are monstrous and like to destroy people's lives.
Yeah, I see that. They see it as a strategy. I don't think it's a mental health issue. I think that they see the other side as the enemy. And since they can't debate facts, they can't debate real issues, they just decide to, completely defame people by photoshopping and doctoring tweets and photos.
Yeah, they do it on purpose. And then when they see someone like Roseanne Barr who's not mentally well, they think, great, let's take advantage of her to spread our propaganda. In a lot of ways, they're actually the sickest people on earth. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.